What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about this little boat I just picked up off Facebook Marketplace. So this thing is a Ultranautics Jetstar. It's a little 12.5 or 12-foot jet boat. I don't know a whole lot about them. I've been reading up a little bit lately, but I don't know a ton. So it does run. Had it running at buddy's house. Only ran it for a few seconds, but it does need some work, obviously. Windshield's missing. Someone's fabbed this piece of garbage on here, so that's got to go. It's got no seat cushions. The guy just like glued this rubber mat kind of garbage to it, so I'm gonna have to make some cushions for it. Someone knows these things better than I do. Tell me how this seat goes, because that seat there is supposed to be like a seat that flips backwards or something. I guess you can, like, I don't know, put it up this way or some deal and sit backwards and look backwards. I don't know. I don't really understand it. So when you guys can comment, let me know. This has a 60 horse Suzuki inboard jet drive setup. He did say it runs good and idles good, but you know, can't really trust anyone. So I'm going to do some preliminary things. Obviously change some fuel lines. He's got like odd sized fuel lines on here and a fuel filter that's about to crack and leak through. So we're going to do some lines on it. I'll throw it in the water first and we'll see how it runs or if it idles before I decide to clean the carbs. I should probably clean them, but sometimes you rip gaskets and stuff. So if it doesn't need it, I'm not going to do it, but we'll see. If it doesn't idle properly or does weird things, we'll clean those carbs. That's no problem. He did say the tack doesn't work, so I'll have to look up a wiring diagram and see if I can find up like where the pickup lead is. Could very well be this one that's just cut off hanging there. What else? It seems to be in not bad shape, but it's very, very dull. I don't know if it comes up on video, but like it's super dull. It needs a buff really bad. And this disgusting, weird paint stripe, tribal, gotta go. Dude's got like some car battery in it, which is not a good setup back in there. So we'll see what we're gonna do about that. I'm probably gonna take it out, just charge it for now, see if it works. There is some ghetto things going on in here. He's got a blower sitting on a 2x4 that's just like not sitting in there properly. It just falls out. But yeah, so the plan is I don't want to throw a ton of money into this boat, but I do want it to be decent. So I want to buff it. We're gonna do some cool color cushion, get it running good. If it's not running good, we'll get it running good. And I want to swap the trailers too. I hate this trailer. It's got these tiny little tires, and it is a newer trailer. It's in really nice shape, but you can just tell it's a really cheap, chintzy trailer. Like, I don't like it at all. So I'm gonna put it on my nice Triton trailer, but I'll have to re-drill some mounts and move this up a bit to make it fit, but that's no big deal. Yeah, so I'm probably not gonna get it out in the water today, but the next clip you're gonna see is probably me running this thing. So we'll fast forward to then. I don't know when that's going to be, but for you it'll be about 2 seconds from now. Buddy said the speakers were good. I didn't look, but yeah, I don't know, not too good. Off to a bad start here, guys. I'm gonna yank this battery out and charge it, because yeah, and that's obviously not even a deep cycle battery either. Perfect. Okay, all right, little update here. It's the next day. Threw a new fuel line, filter on. Old line was all, I don't know if you've seen the last clip, mismatched sizes and junk, so that all got cleaned up. I know I said I wasn't going to pull the carbs off, but it just bothered me too much not to do it, so I'm going to go bring those in and see how clean they are. Threw new plugs in it. I was going to siphon the gas, but there is no gas left in it, so I added like 5 liters of fresh stuff, just a bit to run it. And guess the fuel gauge is broken, because it was saying half before, and there was nothing in it really. Very bare minimum. So anyways, let's bring these carbs in the garage and see what these things look like. Okay, so carbs are off here, and it's a little dirty. Probably a good thing I took it apart. One thing I noticed is if you look at the posts that hold your float in, I don't know if you can see that in there, but that's totally corroding away. Let me see if I can zoom in here. See that? See all the material missing? So I gotta be very, very careful getting that float pin out. Very careful to not snap those. I've snapped them before, so wish me luck. Okay, here's a good comparison. You see the posts on here? It'll focus. There you go. You see those posts? That's how it's supposed to look. Look at this one. Yeah, not good. So I tried pushing the little float pin out just gently with a pick, and it wasn't coming. So honestly, I hate to not clean that. Your inlet needle and seat, normally I pull the needle of the seat out and clean it, but that is so risky to touch that, it's going to explode. So I'm not touching that. You know, if it comes to being a problem down the line, 100% we'll do that, but for now I'm not touching that one. This one I'll pull out. So far the carbs aren't like disgustingly dirty. They're not like super clean, but they're not dirty. This one's a little worse. Maybe fuel sits in this one and this one doesn't. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to blow all this out, and I'll put the jets in the ultrasonic. Normally I put the whole carb body in, but I don't want to do it with the float and the needle and everything there. So give me a few minutes and I'll get this all cleaned up. Okay, we went full out. I pulled the float out. I lied. It was bothering me too much, and it's a good thing I did. It was disgusting in there. So I got these cooking in the ultrasonic. To be honest, the one looks really good, and the other one is corroded like big time. It's the carb on the bottom. I wonder if it sat with water in it or something forever. I've never actually seen one that corroded so much that it corroded out the posts that mount the float. So the ultrasonic isn't really cleaning it up like amazing. It's getting to the point where like you can tell the paint is literally coming off. See that? The paint is coming off the body of the carb, but you'll see when I pull it out, it's not cleaning the inside too bad, or too good, but I think it's just because it's so corroded. But I'll let her eat in there for a bit, and we'll get it however we can. And it did run. Anyways, I had it running just before I pulled these carbs, so it ran already, and it was starting good after I put the new gas in it. So I think we'll be okay. So we'll let this cook and then see what happens. All right, so you can see how nice this carb is. Came out very good, and this was only in the ultrasonic for half the time that this one was. And this one is just destroyed. It's gross. And you can see here too, I notice even this is corroded. If it'll focus. No, it's not going to focus. But even this is corroded. See that on the edge? It's starting to get into the threads. So, right there. So we're going to be very careful, very, very careful putting this all back together. Very careful. And I'm going to blow all the passageways out with air again. And I'll let these jets cook in the ultrasonic for a bit. Now even the bowls, look at the difference in the bowls. The upper carb was nice, this one. Totally discolored. All right, carbs are back on. Not super happy about how the one came out, but we'll see how this thing runs. If it runs good, I'll leave it. If it doesn't run good, I'll look for a carb. So I just hit the primer ball a couple of times, and let's see if she starts here. Cross your fingers. Oh, well, guess it'd be good to put the battery disconnect on there. The blower, which I also have to fix. Oh yeah, let's try this. Oh, it actually fired up right away. That fired up not bad, but it didn't seem to. Oh, okay. That's why. Let's try that again. It wasn't responding to throttle, but I didn't push it far enough. Well, I can tell you that was responding a lot better than it was before. Okay, so that helped. It's enough for one day, I think. Still got my work clothes on here. I didn't even change. I just went straight to work on this thing. So that's enough for today. Work on this again tomorrow. See you tomorrow. All right, it's a few days later, just getting off work again, and I think we're gonna go water test this thing. So the last couple days I've been contemplating this, and it's been bugging me, but my buddy Aaron said you should check the gear case oil in the jet drive, which is a good idea. But unfortunately, to get to the gear case oil in the jet drive, you're not gonna be able to see it, but it's got a regular drain and fill like any outboard bottom end. But to get to it, you have to drop the entire jet drive assembly completely off the engine, which I was gonna do, but the way it's sitting on the trailer, if I try to drop that jet drive assembly, it's going to hit this cross member here on the trailer and not be able to come out. So I either have to raise the boat off the trailer or bring it in the water. If I can get the boat back another 1.5 feet or so hanging off the back of where it is now, it'll clear the back of the trailer, so I'll be able to drop it there. But it's bothering me not to replace that before I go for a ride, but I just want to try it out. So we're gonna go take this for a quick water test and hope that doesn't bite me, and we'll see you at the lake. All right, so we're at the boat launch here. Let's see what happens. that's good. Oh, well, we're moving. It's not very happy, but it did have old gas in it that I couldn't get out, so we'll just be easy on it for a little bit here, let it figure out what it's doing, and carry on. Give it a little more. Oh, speedometer works. That's good. It's running okay. I can tell it's not super happy, but it's running okay. It's probably something to do with the fact that half the carb is eroded away on the one, but we're moving. It's working. So I'm gonna putt around for a few minutes before I grab my wife, because if I'm gonna sink this thing to the bottom of the lake, I'd rather not bring her with me. So we'll putt around for a couple minutes, and then we'll go grab the wife. Do a little speed run here. Got the GPS out. So far she's not a speed demon or anything here, but let's see what we get. All right, hammer down, bud. So first test in the books, it was running not the greatest, but not bad. I actually wasn't too concerned with it until it dropped the cylinder on that wide open run. That was semi-concerning, but we'll figure it out. I have a feeling it's that trashed carb, right? The one that's falling apart. So I'm gonna pull the plugs when we get home, take a look at them, and I'd like to see that one with the bad carb. I'd like to see that cylinder be not running good. Then at least I can point to that and say, well, it's obviously the garbage carb. So I gotta sneak that on a little more. This trailer totally doesn't fit this boat. The guy threw this on this trailer just to sell it, and like the bunks are not set up. Like this does not fit this trailer at all. The handle here hits the hull when it's all the way forward. It scrapes the hull, like ridiculous. But anyways, let's get this back to the house. We're gonna pull some plugs and see what we got. But so far I'm happy enough with it. It ran and didn't leak anything. That was a big thing. I was worried about the hull leaking everywhere, and I pulled the plugs and we got out, and no leak. Bilge didn't put anything out, so at least it doesn't leak. Well, to be honest, the plug on the bad carb looks better than I thought. So here's the top cylinder, which is the good carb. It's actually burning really nice. Looks really good. Here's the bottom. It's slightly worse, but like it's really not that bad. I'm kind of surprised. Huh. I don't know. Okay, I think that's going to be it for this video. I checked compression on it just to make sure I didn't blow it up when I dropped the cylinder. and compression's still good, so that's good. After it dropped that cylinder, I shut the video off, but I drove for like another 10 minutes there, and I didn't do a long wide open pull again, but I drove for another 10 minutes and it was fine. It ran okay. So I would consider this a semi-success, I guess. It ran decent but not great, but with the condition of what you saw that carb was, honestly, I'm not surprised. Actually, I'm surprised it ran as good as it did considering how bad it was. So that'll be the next step. I'm going to get either a new old stock carb or a used one. It seems like there's some available online, tough to find, but there is some. So I'm definitely going to get another carb on it for next time. And stay tuned for the next video, because the next video we're making this thing look nice. So this whole interior is getting totally changed. Obviously this guy just put this garbage foam and doesn't actually have any seat cushions in here, which is ridiculous. So that's all getting changed. I think I'm putting a couple speakers in it because they're kind of cooked. We're gonna have to figure out what to do with this trailer, because this trailer is absolutely terrible. This trailer's garbage. Well, I shouldn't say it's terrible, I just don't like the small tires, and the guy didn't adjust the bunks for this boat at all. Like, look at how the bunks are set up. Like, terrible. Right in the very bottom corner, it doesn't even sit right. Boat sitting screwed. I tried playing with the boat trying to get it centered. You can't, because the bunks aren't right. But anyways, yep, next video we're gonna make this thing nice, give it a buff, do some seats. You have to stay tuned to see what colors I do for that, and then we'll get a new carb on it. And I'm trying to think of what else is in the plans. Oh yeah, I'd like to try and get some kind of windshield. That 100% is coming off, but as for what I'm going to replace it with, I don't know yet. There is a company that makes the OEM one, like a replica, but it's like, by the time you get it here to Canada with border fees and taxes, it's probably like 700 something bucks, and I'm not doing that. So I will figure out something for a windshield, but I ain't paying 700 bucks for that one. But yeah, overall success. Runs okay ish. It's a cool boat. I like it. It's fun to bomb around in. So yeah, stay tuned. Next video we're gonna make this thing nice, wax it, buff it, decal, seats, whatever, all that good stuff. And we'll see you again. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. If you watched this far, subscribe. Hey, subscribe to the channel.